welcome back to another Saturday Morning Creative, and today we are going to just test our imaginations. What I'm going to do today is basically what I have on my intro for the sketching in clay, and the whole concept of it, of just going in, having fun, and not having a game plan, just kind of seeing where the clay takes us. I'm going to grab a little bit more than that. So, starting out, just have a few balls of clay, and really the concept is just to start molding them and see what kind of shapes, what kind of character that you can kind of bring to life out of this. And here I'm just kind of smoothing it all together, and I'm going to keep adding more and moving it around until I see something, basically. I've already kind of started to see something. I need more clay. Let's grab more. But after you start doing this for a little while, this is kind of along the same lines of kind of like scribbling or just making shapes out of clay, to where once you're going to start to develop an eye to kind of see things, and shapes are going to start forming and being pulled together. So just making this shape already, what I noticed was this is kind of almost like a big bear, a big giant, a big creature kind of sitting down and adding in these legs, just kind of sitting there. And so that's where I'm starting with this one. Now, is that where I'm going to finish? I don't know. A lot of things can change between now and when I actually do get a little bit farther and start, figuring things out and blending these shapes together. Grab my bigger one. But again, the whole purpose is just to have fun. So I'm not sure if I'm going to keep it, if I'm even going to like it. But I am starting off with some kind of idea, and we'll see if it actually turns into anything that I actually like or not. Adding in a little bit of a head. I'm thinking kind of maybe like a gargoyle or a dragon, maybe something along the lines of that. At least at this moment, kind of adding in some big ears just to kind of get something established and started. Even something kind of fun and silly with adding in some, I'm not going to do fairy wings, but they are actually going to be some dragon wings, but they're just on the, I've always thought it was weird but funny to see some of those bigger dragon characters with these little wings as if they could actually hold them up. Couple shapes down here for his feet just kind of sticking up. But I'm also thinking, I just kind of had a thought of doing like little arms, like a little T-Rex arms. Again, quick shapes, and that'll help you to kind of see the character. And from this spot, you can already see that you're starting to come up with a character of some sort. And from here, you can play with the expression, the gesture of it, and kind of help to bring it a little bit more to life. So we're going to keep going there. And here. Fleshing out the shape of the face a little bit more, adding in some brows over the eyes, some cheekbones, a little bit more to the snout. Your ridge that go down the back of his head. Now coming in here, I'm going to shape these just a little bit more. Actually, you definitely have to add in a little bit of a tail back here. But going in and doing a little bit of refining on these legs to pull the tail off, because that's actually going to cut under. So this will actually be rounded out and won't be just straight down to the base. Cut in around here. And that'll start to define this leg here to where it comes up, and a definite spot to where it comes down to kind of create this knee in the middle. Move the foot out of my way. Okay. There's that. Add the foot back on. Have it kind of go towards the side and a little bit forward. And I'll add a little bit more clay that'll help connect the foot to the leg. Just kind of make sure that I keep the shape of him. And then we go over here, I'm going to do the same thing. Just because this was kind of where I first started. So I'm happy with the way that the legs look. And I'm still thinking about the rest of the body. So when I do characters, when I create, designs and faces and things, there might be certain things that I add. Like I might be thinking about adding big ears or horns or something, or wings or anything like that. And so what I'll do is I'll say, you know what, these might actually look good. So I'll toss a couple really quick shapes. And by doing that, you start to look at it as you're working on other parts of the body or the face, and you'll start to see whether you actually like those ears or not. And if I like them, I'll spend more time on them and actually attach them right and work them into the head. But there's plenty of times to where, I decide it doesn't look right or I'm not too crazy about it. And it's not a big deal to remove them, because it only took me a couple minutes, if that, to add them on. So when you're not really sure, just add on a quick shape and see if you like it. And time will tell. There goes that. Add in a little bit more clay here to connect the foot. To add a little more volume, make it a little bit thicker of a foot. Okay. See here, still not happy with the arms. I'm not really happy with his face either, or the head. Not sure if the neck should be a little bit longer. Actually, we're going to pull that off. Just set it aside for a minute. I have a little bit of a thought to maybe extend the neck and have it kind of twisted around, like it's searching or looking around, something like this. And to do that, Just gonna cut out a little bit in here. And actually, I'm not too crazy about that head anyway, so I'm just going to rebuild it. So, just adding on volumes. Adding on this big mouth or snout area. And the other problem I'm having is this body is extremely big. And I kind of don't mind the neck, but in order for his head to kind of match, I don't want him to have this super small head. I need a little bit more support if I want to go bigger with this head like I need to. So, make the neck just a little bit thicker. That way it'll be able to hold the head when I go in and add more. Okay. So the other thing that I literally just noticed as I was, doing this and looking around, the arms, even though I don't like them at all, they are actually starting to look like flippers. And so that kind of gave me and I actually don't mind the look of them if they were flippers. So I'm actually, after I do a little bit more to this head, I'm going to actually add that on. So, build out just a little bit for the shoulders, and with them being flippers, they don't have to, especially the shoulder area doesn't have to be super thick, because they're not made for, super strong muscles and carrying or picking things up. Then just make sure that these are in the correct shape. That. Voila. And then, of course, on the back here, like I said, it doesn't matter if you remove things, because you're just trying to get a feel for them. What does a water animal, of course he does have feet, although they could turn into web feet. What does a water animal really need with wings? Although you could keep them and add them, but I am going to try to add, not really sure yet, but some kind of big thick spine going down the back. So, because I got a lot of twists in here, make sure you follow that the line that'll go down the back. and along its back it's going to be a little bit taller. And then, yes, like I said, these you kind of make the tips flatter, but also wider. And that will give you a look and feeling of flippers, or more flipper-like feet. Actually open these up a little bit more. So, there you have it. We have created this little, I'm going to say dinosaur sea monster type of character out of, not knowing anything about where we wanted to go. Just starting off with a few balls of clay and seeing where the shapes kind of started to take us. And so that's a fun challenge, and it's something that everybody should definitely try every once in a while, especially when you're in a place to where you're not sure what you want to create, and you have a lot of mental blocks, or you want to try something new. And you can come up with some really interesting, some really great designs when you do things like that. So here is where I was able to take you. I'm going to open his mouth up just a little bit. Here's a place I was able to take you. And from here, if you guys are following along, or if you guys are, even better, if you guys are creating your own pieces, I hope this has inspired you to get started and to just kind of take off in your own direction and see how far you can take your own. Now remember, for this exercise, you can either use this as a jumping point to where I'm not sure exactly what I want to make today, or you can use this as a creative experiment to where you just say, I'm going to go in for 20 minutes and just kind of throw the clay around to see what I can sketch up and come up with. And it just gives you that creative freedom before you start working on your other projects. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Please let me know what you think, if there's anything new or anything else that you would like to see covered. And check me out on Patreon at patreon.com/Brian's Art of Creation. And join in, help support. That basically allows me to keep creating these videos. It helps to support the Little Heroes project that I'm doing with the different kids that I meet. And basically, it just helps me to keep helping as many people as I can. So, go out there, get creative, and have a blast.